Welcome to the IDP Kit setup section, where we now will use the IDP Kit on our local machine. So before we get started, make sure you have the JDK 16 build environment and Gradle installed. So without further ado, let's get into it. So there are two different ways how you could build the project. One is Gradle and the other one is Docker. You can use whatever you want. I will go with Gradle build. So let's first clone the project. Let's go on to terminal and download it, change directories. Perfect. So what's next? We need to set up a vault.yaml file. This will be used by the IDP Kit to contact a node via Alchemy and then use the API key, which we also then get from Alchemy, to talk to the blockchain and verify that the user who is trying to sign in is actually an owner of the NFT collection we will later be specifying in the IDP Kit configuration section. So let's create the file. And open the application in our editor. Perfect. So for the configuration file, we can just use this default one right here and copy that into our project. So there are only two sections we worry about. The first one is the provider section and the other one the API keys. So providers, depending on where your NFT collection is hosted, you need to update the correct chain. So in my example, it will be the Mumbai chain, and then we also need the API key. So that will be the HTTPS endpoint of the node, and that will be the API key, so we can authenticate our request against that node. And the node endpoint we will get from Alchemy. So let's go into our account and create an app. Let's call it IDP Kit. Then we use Polygon and the Mumbai network and create. Now, if we view our keys, we get the endpoint, which we can put in here. And we will get the API key, which we can put in here. So when that is all done, we can go back to our section and actually build a project and install all dependencies. So we will do that. Go back in here, open our terminal, and run the Gradle install. Great, so the build is finished and now we can just try to run our... First I always create an alias, so I don't always have to go into the build folder. Let's do that. And then we can just run idp kit-h